Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at building cabins in the woods, but mostly we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Craig.
All right. Welcome, Craig, or as I call you, Dad.
Hi, Isaac.
It is so nice to have you reluctantly here today. See, we planned on having you on last week, Benj and I. Benj, who couldn't be here today, or isn't here today, and that's why you're here today. We wanted to have you on last week for Father's Day, but you were away.
I was.
I
was up in a cabin in the woods.
A cabin in the woods. That's the thing we're poor at. We're poor at building, but mostly we're poor at doing art. We're also, I'm gonna call this episode Two Men and a Baby, because my baby, almost 2-year-old, is in the studio today also. She's hanging out due to the absence of a babysitter. I tried calling one and they're like, nope, not coming. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to draw. She's going to, toddle as they do. Right? So let's just start off with this, I guess. What's your opinion of Two Poor Artists?
Well, I've listened to many episodes, or I should say been subjected to many episodes, because as you know, your mom loves your humor and loves your show.
Aw, thanks, Mom. What do you think of it?
I think it's unique.
See, that's good. That's hard on the internet these days, and for artists, right? We're the only real artists, and you know how that works. Real artists only draw in ballpoint pen, black ink, no erasing. None of the traditional norms of art that have been passed down from the oppressive art community. We've just taken it back to its roots, back to before color was invented. You remember such a time?
Well, back when my day when me and Leonardo hung out together.
You and Leon, he painted with color, but I guess not actually in color. They just recolored it at that point in like the 50s or whenever they did that.
I'm just thinking about how his drawings of like the human body are all drawn with black pencil.
See? Yeah, but pencil, I mean, you can't fault him too much. They didn't have ballpoint pens back in his day.
They didn't.
We've reached peak art in the 21st century with the ballpoint pen.
He could have used pigeon quill though.
Pigeon quill. I've not used pigeon quill. I've used seagull quill. Seagull quill was something that Benj and I used when we drew with squid ink. It's the closest bird to a squid, as everybody knows. So that's what we used. But we're so glad to have you here today, even though last week you were at a cabin in the woods. I wonder how much you can hear my baby over there just like chatting with everything on my shelf. We haven't had a studio baby. We have Josh over there in the corner. He just kind of sits endlessly in the corner. Say hi, Josh. You can't hear him, but he's, we can wave to him, Dad. We'll just do a slow wave. We do that sometimes to Josh in the corner. Hi, Josh. Good job actually waving, by the way. That's pretty good. Most people don't do that. They just can't get on board. But we're going to draw where you were last week when you couldn't be here in the studio. We're going to draw Cabin in the Woods, which sounds like a movie from like the early 2000s, like a slasher movie,
It probably was, but as you know, I have this desire to build my own cabin.
Oh, here we go. The pitch.
So this is really going to be more about me drawing an architectural plan.
So
poorly.
So you're like gonna actually. So your plan is to draw a cabin in the woods. This proves you haven't seen Two Poor Artists very much, because so rarely do we take the title and just. The drawings match the title, but they aren't the title, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I've given you some suggestions of maybe what you could draw. Oh,
well, you have, and I've got an idea. It's more on brand, which is what we go for. Doing, Two Poor Artist drawings. Oh, yeah, my baby has a bear. Good job throwing your bear on the floor.
She is all into this cabin in the woods.
Yeah, she's got
about the wildlife.
She's got a bear. Every cabin in the woods has a bear.
Well, and every woods has a bear.
I think that's true, right? It's not really the woods if it doesn't have a bear. It would just be the 100-acre blank not 100 Acre Woods without Winnie the Pooh.
I mean,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. But
So-
how many woods do you know that have bears and tigers?
Oh, see, that's very rare. There's not too many that have tigers and bears. Oh my. Oh, good job throwing everything out of your little playpen. Yeah, he's gonna stay there. Okay, and I'm not talking about my dad. He's not in a playpen. We haven't done that to him. We don't do that to most of our guests on Two Poor Artists. So, thanks for not needing one. But I think it's time to jump in with Cabin in the Woods. Now, Ben and I would traditionally talk for another 5 to 15 minutes, before any art actually appears on the screen. That's kind of, we have a problem. But are you ready?
I'm
Are
ready.
you ready for real art? The
Yes.
way Michelangelo used to do it with you.
So this process, you're going to draw a picture and then I'm going to draw a picture?
Yeah, I'm going to draw a picture, and then we'll clear the board, the slate, the canvas, if you will, and then you'll drop it. You really have never seen an episode of this, have you?
I have multiple times seen episodes
You just
of this.
blocked them out? Is that shame or old age speaking?
I think it's more trauma.
Oh, Trump. That's fair. I get that. All right.
You just erased.
Well, I haven't started yet. That was, you gotta get the ink and the pen flowing. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. You're gonna draw an architectural drawing, which is gonna bore the audience to tears. So I really better give them something, get their money's worth coming into the, this place. So the first thing that you do in the woods, the cabin in the woods, is you draw a tree. What do you think? Not so bad.
Most of the trees in the wood did seem to be straight.
Oh, that's interesting. How many of them had needles, pine needles? Like this?
Majority of them.
Oh, really?
Majority of them.
Yeah, because here in Arizona, we don't have real... they call the things we have down here in the desert forests, national forests, but no bears. No, there can't be woods, forests without bears. They're just deserts. We have,
Yeah. So maybe we should talk about that. The definition between a forest and
the woods?
Because
Okay.
lots of things are called a national forest.
I see. So yeah, what expound on us? What do you think the...
So if you go the back way down to Tucson, you drive through the Joshua Tree National Forest, but there's not a single tree.
Oh, that's complicated, seeing as I haven't really ever gone to Tucson, and I was very convinced there were trees in Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree is actually a type of pipe cactus.
Is it seriously?
It seriously is.
It's a pipe cactus? They call it a Joshua tree? What? Who's Joshua? Other than the one in the corner. It's not named after him.
No, I would assume that it's probably named after either the person who discovered it or the Joshua in the Bible.
Oh, yeah, it could be him, right?
So I see you're drawing a real woods because
Yeah, these are the real woods. You can tell because there's a bear.
I was gonna say that appears to be a bear with a very long, thin neck.
Thank you. There he is.
There's a bear.
Yeah. She met in a baby. The baby likes the bear. She said the name bear 50 times. Oh, hold up your bear so I can see what a bear looks like. Yeah, no, proportions look good. We're good. Maybe I could add some fur or something. Oh yeah, she's pointing at it and saying bear. It doesn't get any more official that is an actual bear. Yeah, thank you. Bear. It is a bear. And you know it, and I know it, and we're just got to draw the rest of the bear now.
I'm gonna guess that bear had just come out of hibernation.
What gave it away?
Is that a beaver tail?
It's just behind. I'll give you a little nubbin of a tail so you can tell. And maybe he has a... He has a claws. Or a hand, right? Did you see any of these up at your cabin in the woods? Please tell me you didn't.
Did not see a bear.
Yeah, so there's the bear in the woods. But anyway, so what's the difference between a forest and the woods, other than woods have to have bears?
Well, and I think maybe look up the definition sometime. But
Oh, you gotta
clearly,
here, take out your phone, look it up, find us. This our channel is nothing if not educational. It's either you're learning what not to do from experience, or you're learning what you can do in art by watching from experience, or we're teaching you. Did you vote for Benj for artist general, by the way?
I believe I did.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We appreciate your vote. He was a narrow margin, but he's making America black and white again, in the sense of art. That's what we. All right, so what have you learned? Woods versus. I'm gonna draw some more.
We're gonna have to go with a very unique interpretation here, because it says that the definition of forest is a large area covered chiefly with trees and undergrowth.
Oh, so undergrowth is a portion of this.
And it says a pine forest is an example.
Okay, but like.
Okay, this does make a little bit more sense.
No, go for it.
A large number of dense mass or vertical tangled objects.
Oh, so it could be anything. We could have like yarn forests, tangled, straight up and down yarn forests.
Pool noodle forests.
Ooh. Oh man, maybe I'll add that to my. See, this is how art, evolves as you go. You have like a pool noodle tree out in the.
Historically, a forest was defined in England.
Oh well, they invented forests, so.
As an area typically owned by a sovereign.
What is
and
that?
Partly wooded.
What is that?
For hunting and having its own laws, like the Sherwood Forest.
Oh, don't play with that. Baby's playing with one of the swords we have hanging in the studio. Oh, it's okay. You just can't play with swords. Those are just for art decoration.
You could have a forest of tangled vertical swords.
Oh, you could. I don't know how I feel about these pool noodles you suggested.
Well, a pool noodle forest would be very apropos here in Arizona.
Yeah, because we have so many swimming pools. Yeah. Okay.
So imagine if we had a forest that had a bunch of in-ground pools surrounded by pool noodle forests.
I would be all for that, to be completely honest with you. Pool noodle forests are something we desperate, because there's nothing green in this part of Arizona. So if we just had green pool noodles, we'd had how people are always like, oh, I miss back east, New Hampshire, the colors of fall and the colors of the wind, like Pocahontas sung about in that one song. And then people are like, why do we live in this just gray, and by gray they mean brown, area of the world, but nothing grows except for the prickle bush. You know how people are always saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, nod of approval from my dad. He would always tell the truth.
Yeah.
And the baby hears it too. Yeah, that's true. She's doing a good job.
She is all on board with that.
Yeah, good job, baby.
Do you see the bear?
Yeah, and she sees the pool noodle forest and she approves. People who are always complaining about not having fall colors won't be able to complain because we'll have pool noodles and they'll be the same color all year round.
You could have the unicorn pool forest, which would of course
What
be
would that mean?
Purple and pink pool noodles, because everybody knows the official color of unicorns are purple and pink.
Yeah, Dad. I don't know why I'm agreeing with my father on such a feminine unicorn topic. It's probably because of all my sisters, isn't it?
They're
to blame.
Currently 8 sisters.
And they're all young. And
one's
unicorn loving. Yeah, they're all younger than me. I'm the eldest. That's why I became a professional artist, to show them all, what's what. I'm going to draw one more pool noodle, and then we're going to move on with this drawing.
Oh,
this
is interesting.
Oh, please.
Keep drawing your pool noodles there.
I am.
The woods is an area of land smaller than a forest.
So size is a factor.
That is covered with growing trees.
Uh-huh. Now, we're getting somewhere.
So I find that interesting.
So do I, Father. Let's draw something manly in our father-son Two men and a baby drawing. Look at that. Can you tell what that is? That's a car. I'll add a headlight. And something to make it. Ooh, look at that 3D art technique.
And again, the word woods. Yeah, what's coming into your forest there? That's interesting.
Ah, yeah. This. We'll just be clear about one thing. This is a cab in the forest. A cab in the forest. A cab in cabin the forest.
Is it in the forest?
I mean, it could be. This could be the forest.
I mean, with just one pine tree and 3 pool noodle trees.
This
would
is
it
like
be a forest or would it be the woods?
Oh, well, I mean, it has to do with size, right? You were just expounding on it.
Woods is smaller than a forest. So is this a cab in the woods?
But it's a cab in the forest. This is a forest.
Okay.
This is just the outskirts. But there is a bear, so I can see why you'd be confused. You're like, well, it's a bear. It could be the woods, but it's forest.
Gotcha.
Just unless we want to change the title real quick to Cab in the Woods. Cabin the woods. No. Okay.
I'll have to ponder that.
Yep. No.
Interestingly enough, and I know
yes,
you'll find
this is.
interesting.
I am very interested.
The word woods
Yes.
comes from the Germanic.
Germanic? You sure that's the word?
Yeah, Germanic.
Not
Yep.
Germanic?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I always get those.
I was born there.
Oh,
so
yes.
We're gonna go with I know how to pronounce.
Yes, you know, you were born in Germanic.
I was born in Deutschland. Yes. So the word woodoo
Would you?
or wood
Good?
is a Germanic word meaning woods.
Oh, so it's a German wood. So if it's German, if there's trees in Germany, you have to call it woods?
Right. Absolutely. Like the Black Forest is not in Germany then, even though it is. It would have to be called the Black Woods. Or the Black Gwyd.
There you go. There's your bear. I know. My bear's not good enough. All right. Well, I don't know. I think this might be good. We have a cab. There's the cab driver. He looks confused. Maybe he's saying something like, oh, here we go. Here's what he'll say. He'll say, did you call for a cab? You know, because he's looking at that bear, that normal looking bear, and he's like, maybe the bear called a cab. You never know, right?
You don't.
Not in the woods or the forest or wherever this is.
Hey, interesting fact.
Yes,
We were
please.
talking about the woods.
You are doing a great job with the facts today. We appreciate this one.
I'm going to be the guy with all the facts today.
All right. You're also going to be the guy who has to do art in just a minute, so prepare yourself mentally and emotionally.
There are currently no bears in the Black Forest of Germany.
Of course not, but there are in the woods.
But there used to be
What happened to
bears
them?
in the Black Forest. It
Gasp.
appears that they were all hunted to extinction in the 19th century.
Oh, man, that was like a David Attenborough documentary. He was supposed to feel sad.
See the bear
Yeah.
as it hangs from the tree.
Is that your David Attenborough? And do bears hang from trees?
They do.
Oh,
They
okay.
do.
Well, I stand corrected.
It's the way they try to avoid getting shot so that they don't become extinct.
So this is called a cab.
In
Thank you. Thank you for that. In the, what are we calling this? Woods or forest? What do you think? Is this the woods or the, where did you go the other day, last week? Were you in the woods or were you in the forest?
I'm pretty sure that we were in the forest.
But after our new history and Germanic lesson, what do you want to call
The
this?
area that I was in was smaller than the forest itself. It's
Oh.
surrounded by meadowy areas and prairies.
My pun didn't have anything to do with forest. So like, you want to do it woods or forest?
I think we should do woods.
All right, because it was too small.
Yeah. It
Good.
was smaller than the forest.
Because the word woods is smaller too, and it fits up here better. Cabin in the Woods. Now, you've never apparently seen Two Poor Artists, so I'll explain something else really important about our channel, and that is that you have to put your name and age on everything to make it real art, which I'm sure you already knew that, because that's just like a general rule of the world, but...
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm going to put my name, my real age, 32, and we'll call that a drawing, unless there's something else. Oh, but sometimes I get these ideas afterwards, like, oh, if it's nighttime because there's clearly a moon, maybe I'll put some stars up there, shining bright over the...
One of the things about being in the woods is you really can see all the stars. So.
Yeah, but what about being in the forest? Can you see them in the forest, or are there too many trees because it's so big?
Yeah, I would say the forest is probably too dense.
Yeah, right?
But the woods...
That's how you know. There's pool noodles and bears, and it's not as big as a forest, and you can see the stars. You're in the woods. All right, perfect. Are you proud of me? I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. You're proud of me. It's just, this is included, right?
Absolutely.
The confidence manifests. All right. Here, you see that keyboard behind you? You want to just type the word woods on it while I ponder my art? Yes, ponder. It's beautiful. For spacious skies. There's amber bears of grain. Is that the lyrics? I should know. I'm an American.
I believe it's amber waves of grain.
Oh, okay. I was close, and that's good enough for me. All right. So you're gonna draw now. I'll clear this for you so you can, have a shot at this.
Well,
do you want to? I have an important question. Not many people take me up on this. Do you want the drawing glove?
I would, except for I'm left-handed.
Oh, that's right. And it's only a right-handed drawing glove.
And that, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's totally how.
We'll see how this goes. I don't know how many left-handed guests you've had on your show.
I think you might be the first.
Because one of the interesting things about left-handed artists is we tend to drag our hands through our artwork.
Gross.
Because we're writing from left to right.
That is pretty gross. I hope we don't see that today. I don't want you smudging the ink. We had to get our ink squid farmer. We pay him a pretty penny. We don't want to smudge his hard work.
Well, I understand that milking a squid is actually pretty difficult.
It is very difficult. Yeah, it's true.
So,
All right, you want to say hi? Hi. Oh, good job. Oh, she's shy. She has never been on Two Poor Artists before.
Hi, baby.
But this is two poor men and a baby. And yeah,
and a bear.
Yeah, and a bear.
And a bear.
And a bear, according to my baby. Bear. Good job. Now we're gonna watch a new piece of poor art. We're gonna see. I don't know that I've ever seen you draw something in life. I mean, you probably have. I just don't know if I've ever seen it. You just kept it hidden.
Did we ever do the war game activity together where we drew like planes and boats and then we flicked the pen across the page to our pen?
What, you and me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't we do that today?
So
we'll have to have you back on one day when Benja's here, and you can teach us the war game, and we'll draw war game, and I'll draw Ferris Bueller, and you'll draw the dad from Sabrina. It'll be great.
There we go.
Someone else can draw the girl from, I forget what she's from. She's probably from War Games. All right.
Saw a bear.
Yeah, just don't hit these buttons, or if you do, just make sure it's these ones that change the size of the thing.
Okay, well.
You don't want it that. This like. Okay. I mean, you can just test it. We want to give it a practice. We didn't give you a practice on the tablet earlier.
Oh no, let's just go raw.
Oh, okay. Just
let's
going
for it. Okay, well, as you know, you would someday probably like to take a cab to the woods.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I drew one.
Because I've always wanted to build my own cabin in the woods.
Yeah, and you have to take a cab there. One of the worst things about being at a cabin in the woods is having your own car. Much better just to be dropped off so you're more helpless for the, serial killers that lurk about at cabins in the woods.
Don't get me going on serial killers because you know my opinion of that. So,
Yep, I know, but I don't know that the whole world does. So do you want to tell them your opinion of serial killers?
I do not understand why so many people out there want to kill cereal.
Yeah, sickos.
So
Sickos, right?
What did Honey Nut Cheerios ever do to you?
Nothing. I mean, other than being vaguely in color.
So
I prefer the black and white cereals, like Oreos, in a bowl of milk. Or
and is that
might
just
be
another way of trying to kill cereal? Is to drown it in milk?
no, okay, calm down. I don't know who came up with the idea. Probably a serial killer.
Probably.
But like, I mean, you are eating it.
Okay, so let's start this. Okay, so clearly we need to have.
Yeah, there's no erasing. Just keep that in mind. So like, and I gave you a chance to. Oh yeah, beautiful straight line. If this is your cabin in the woods, we're all in trouble. Look what happens when you don't use a tape measure or a level.
Which is pretty much the
Or
only
a
way to
contractor.
draw.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so good.
So we saw these tall trees.
Yeah, that's right, everyone. You've seen my mom and you've seen my dad's drawing, and now you know where I inherit it genetically. Just blame them.
And you know that
Blame
trees tend to
them.
not be as symmetric as people like to draw them.
Yeah, right? Why are people always drawing these perfectly symmetrical straight line trees? That's an insult to real trees. Real trees have this issue, and they have whatever those are, like long noodles. What kind of a tree is this? You know, I know, but the viewers at home, I'm sure.
Well, this is kind of a pine oak tree,
Oh, a pine oak.
which I believe is actually a tree.
Pine oaks, they grow in the woods, I've heard.
The woods or the forest?
No, the woods, because you're drawing the woods, remember?
So
They have to be in the woods.
Oh, you know what trees have on them in the woods?
Fruit.
They have pine cones.
I
And
think you mean maple pines. Maple cones.
all pine cones have
Maple pine cones.
this kind of pine coney shape like that.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
we noticed that most of the pine trees up in the woods didn't have branches that were like low enough for the kids to climb.
It's because of all those people who are tearing them off.
Um,
Serial killer wannabes. They're called
but
branch burglars.
do you remember the time that we went camping with Iana and Josiah in the woods?
Yeah, and it like...
And on the way up to
Oh,
our campsite,
I don't remember that in the woods. I don't remember that at the campsite. What is that? Who is that?
This is
Oh, it's a bear.
well, it looks kind of like a koala. What
Well, I
does
mean,
qualify as
Hey,
a bear?
those are in the woods, right?
So,
yeah,
and-
koala
and-
bear.
And your trees.
Probably because they're in the woods, right? That's
Right.
probably because people are like, koalas aren't really bears, and you're like, yeah, but they're in the woods,
So
so,
they've got, yeah.
Ooh, it has pincers. It's like, what is that? Why does it have mandibles? What is this thing? Oh, is that his belly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got lost there in this mutant for a second. Why is it chained by the ear to the tree?
It's clearly a pet.
Oh,
My pet bear in the woods.
your pet. This is.
And that's
I feel bad for it. All of a sudden.
I feel bad.
Is this what you were doing up north? I thought you were drawing a schematic of a cabin. You've drawn an imprisoned koala bear. Like
And currently,
this
and currently
is
an
how
armless
art. This is how art is made. An armless one.
one. Well, let's see if we can fix that there.
You need to take some poor art lessons.
Oh no, I think you and Ben probably inherited your poor art.
I mean, it's very true. People have now seen all of our parents draw,
So,
and it ain't pretty.
look, all as we know, all
That hand is-
parents have a belly button.
Well, I mean, they do actually, right? Like,
Probably.
right? But I don't think I've ever like looked at a bear and been like, "Oh, there's his belly button. That's how you know it's a bear."
So there we go. Now it's got some claws on that. Those hands.
The baby says she knows it's a bear. You've succeeded in the
It's a
only
bear.
test that matters.
So, and
If
obviously,
that thing qualifies as a bear, then you're doing real well.
okay, so we've got our bear in the woods. Of course, so now we know that we're actually in the woods because without a tree and without a bear, it wouldn't be the woods.
Nope.
But do you remember that one time that we went up camping
Yes.
and the
With our
entire
cousins.
drive up to the woods, you teased your cousin and your little sister about if they saw a bear in the woods that they were going to die.
I don't remember this at all.
It was you and your uncle for an hour straight.
Like it
telling
was
them-
like if you see one, it's going to eat you kind of a thing?
pretty
Okay.
much.
That sounds like something I would say.
And so I took
Not
the
like it's a
two-
bad omen or something.
So I took the two out hiking
Oh yeah, I
In the
remember.
woods.
I remember this part.
while you two slept in.
Yes.
We went for a morning hike.
Oh yeah, it was like before the sun.
Well, yeah, I know it was before noon.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So, and we ran into a bear in the woods.
That's right. You did. Did it, and then you chained it to a tree
We did.
and you pointed out its
brought
belly
it-
button.
We brought it back to the campsite.
No, you did. That didn't happen.
No, but we did run into the bear in the woods, and literally the look on their two faces was, "We're going to die, and there's nothing that Craig can do about it."
That is a healthy respect for nature. You know, like you
So-
see a shark, you're like, we're dead.
I will
Say
tell
your
you,
prayers.
one of the few
You're about
times,
to meet Jesus.
one of the few times in life, the children listened to every word that I
Yeah,
said.
see, because then it's good. Put the fear of the bear in them.
So yeah, they
It's like the fear of the Lord, but it's less important.
well,
It doesn't lead to wisdom,
it does not.
but it did lead to obedience to Craig.
which is godly in itself.
Yeah, see.
So
I don't know what this has to do with your imprisoned koala bear. Remember, we're drawing cabin in the woods,
we are.
not imprisoned marsupial in the woods. Like,
It's a bear.
yeah, okay. Like,
Clearly a
we
bear.
get that. We know there has to be a bear. It's just unfortunate that this one is
It has
so
one-
malnourished and
That's really-
its limbs are hanging on by literal strings. Like, and it's got a pierced ear
yeah,
that connects it to the maple
I
pine.
think that's a better idea. Let's make that a feather.
What does that mean? A feather?
It's a bear. It's a bear with a feather in its cap.
It's like Yankee Doodle.
So it's an American bear.
Oh yeah, an
like-
American koala bear. There's not many of those.
So
No, I don't think. I think this might be a new species. You can tell. Like, is that a koala bear? I thought those were only in Australia. They're like, no. Look at the feather. It's clearly an American koala bear.
now,
It's singing Yankee Doodle.
if this was going to be my cabin in the woods,
It's nice to know you're building them in this weird woods that no one's ever
that
heard of.
has koala bear,
American koala bears and maple pines.
and clearly it's native to America because it's got a feather.
Yeah, no, obviously that's how you can recognize natives. Yeah, like Yankee Doodle, obviously.
Yes. So there's going to be a big lake that's going to have fish in it. And these are quality fish.
Quality fish.
Quality fish. in
You
my
sure there's
book.
not like a thought bubble and the koala is thinking about them?
So, well,
Quality fish. Oh, it is that. Oh, see, sorry, I got ahead of you there.
you did.
I thought it was an actual lake for a second.
Well, you know, if you're a koala bear and a Native American koala bear,
Yeah, it's
then
you think of
about fish.
quality fish,
You know,
not eucalyptus leaves or whatever
So,
Australian koala bears eat. Again, I'm failing to see cabin in the woods. But I mean, if this is where you're building your cabin, I'm in.
okay.
I have given pushback in the past when you're like, I want to build a cabin in the woods, boy. Get your Lincoln logs. And I'm like, I don't know, Dad. Like, that sounds like a lot of work. I didn't realize it was here. Now I'm in. 100%.
It is
I'm in.
now officially the woods because there's more than one vertical.
Yeah, but don't draw too many. If it gets too big, then it's a forest.
Yeah.
4 trees qualifies as, which means I think most people's backyards might be woods.
So,
They don't have quality fish though.
so what would you consider now that we're talking about a quality cabin
Oh yeah,
in
no,
the
this,
woods
this
with a quality
this,
bear?
drag,
Thinking of
this
quality
drawing
fish.
screams quality.
So what would be some characteristics of what you would consider a quality cabin?
I mean, if we're going with this, you can't have a straight wall. No, no, quality. This means something different to us all today. Quality. It has to have a chimney.
Has to have a chimney.
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Made of wood.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm afraid to touch the board with my hand because I'm afraid.
Yeah,
the
don't
board
smear
will
it.
drop.
We talked about the squid ink farmers, and they're unionized now. They get all upset. You don't want to cut off our ink supply.
And so the
I always like to start my cabin with the door first, and I love it when somebody puts the doorknob on the bottom of the door. Let the mice come in. Oh, that's the chimney.
I started with the
I
chimney.
like how the chimney has a beauty mark. It's like the Marilyn Monroe of chimneys.
So
It's all right.
I was trying
You
to
can
think
laugh
maybe
at your own
should
work.
Should I draw it as a brick chimney, or I mean, what do you? Or
This is like a clay chimney.
okay,
We fired it in our own kiln. Kind of.
hence the beauty mark.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's it. It's got that personal touch.
So
Bears have belly buttons though, not beauty mark. Oh, cold. Okay, there. Just like someone. Look at the quality roof we've built. Ooh.
on our cabin,
Yeah, I like how we're like, we need the roof to be a little bigger. Just add another piece of wood. Both sides. What's about this one? It's not very straight. Yeah, it's quality wood. Quality wood.
From all the building shows I've seen, you
Yeah.
typically don't build a roof with one solid piece of wood.
No, that
It
would
has
be.
to be multiple pieces of wood.
I think, that's true. I don't know why I was giving you such a hard time.
So how would you show that other than this?
Yeah, no, you've done it.
So-
3 pieces of wood.
And Mom wants lots of windows in the cabin.
Yeah, put one in the attic. Oh, that's an inch. Okay. Oh, it's 2 kites have crashed into the.
They don't look at the same size, but they really are.
Oh
Because
yeah,
of the perspective
it's
of looking.
perspective. No,
Yes.
we talk about perspective a lot on 2-4 artists, and I get you. It's just a. You sure this isn't a greenhouse?
It's not a greenhouse in the woods.
Okay.
So
Greenhouse with a chimney is quite disturbing because it's like, hey, plants, while you're growing, you want to watch me burn another plant? They cry a little.
and there's
Then they
of course,
water themselves, and it's actually very efficient.
Those are doors on the front of the cabin.
Those are doors.
No, those are windows. There's
Ah.
lots of windows.
Is this the back of the cabin?
It has to be
Oh, yeah,
because it's facing the bear.
there's no. Oh,
And bears never are in the front of the cabin.
I've always heard that. I've never. If you ever see a bear in the woods, run to the front of a cabin because you're very safe. Because no bears
Never come to the front.
never come to the front of a cabin.
They're
They're
stealth.
yeah. They're like, what if someone walks outside and we have to have an awkward conversation with the neighbors?
So-
That's how bears are.
Or they're like, hey, I didn't call for a cab.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So the bear would never go in the front because he'd never call for the cab. Now, on our cabin, we have a big deck
Yes. Quality deck.
made of more than one piece of wood.
Oh yeah, well, as most decks are. It's a very small deck if it's only made of one piece of wood. Yeah.
And because we're building this up in the forest, our cabin's going to be built on stilts. Of course.
Oh yes. Why?
Because you have to have a place for snakes to hide.
Oh, I'm learning so much about cabins in the woods.
So
Quality cabins in the woods.
It's one of the things that the kids talk about every time we go to the cabin is, are there going to be snakes? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like, don't you see the house built on stilts? It's not just a circus performer.
We build it on stilts so that it can have. I'm building a railing right now.
Oh well, it's better than the Death Star
I didn't want to have the kids fall off.
into the
It's
snake
snake
pit. Yeah, that's a lesson you gotta only learn once.
So
I'm glad you had kids after me because being the eldest, I was the one who had to test the snake pit. I was like Matty Ross. in True Grit,
There you go.
down in the snake pit while you were running after Tom Chaney. It was a weird childhood.
Yeah.
It's like a John Wayne movie every day. Quality cabins, but no railings.
So we got our cabin in the woods, and we know it's the woods because we got bears. Thinking of quality fishing in the lake.
Uh-huh.
Not too many trees.
No, because it's woods.
Oh, but there always has to be that one tree
Oh.
by the cabin that didn't grow straight.
Versus the other ones you've drawn.
All of them, yeah.
Ah, yeah. The other ones are so straight if you look at them the right way.
Always kind of leans.
It's a palm tree.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a
look,
maple palm.
there's
A hole in a tree. Benj and I talk about this a lot. All trees got to have holes in them. For owls.
If you're up there, you see the woodpeckers all the time, and they're constantly.
Yeah.
They
don't make trees without a big hole in them. You're like,
Well-
is something living in there?
It's probably somewhere in the definition of woods or forest. I'm not sure which one, but
Oh.
it has to have animals that dig holes in trees.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure
So-
it's in the fine print of one of those. So, like, this is the tree that you worry is like, is it gonna fall on the cabin while we sleep? Like, if
And-
there's a strong wind?
And it's going to. We know that. We know that. It's going to fall on the cabin.
What is that?
That's
The neighbors?
the cabin roof, obviously.
What is happening to it? What has happened? There's been a natural disaster.
There's been an earthquake.
Suddenly, that explains the leaning tree
So, the chimney.
and the koala's damage.
The chimney's probably here.
Oh, what is?
There, now you know that this is the chimney.
Yes, no, that's good. It's always good to color in stuff for depth and
So-
other art terms.
So that chimney's clearly, right.
No,
in
this
the
is
two
quality.
windows.
I like how the roof. Yeah, we can tell it's.
So there we go, my cabin. And I'm sure when it comes to it,
Hang on, there's a baby emergency.
it's so much easier to draw as you're knocking into the table.
Thank you. I
I
tried
probably
hard.
get straighter lines that way.
Yeah, I know. Like it balances out the pen. It's like a gyroscope effect.
And again, because this is a bear story, we put on here that this is the
Bear in the quality
this is
woods.
the cabin in the quality.
Cabin in the
woods.
quality woods, in quotes.
Yes, quality.
That's a cue for those of
Yes.
you at home. You just got to put your name and age, and it'll be an official piece of art.
Okay, so
You've made the baby cry with your art. I just want you to understand that.
I don't sign anything with my full name. Is that
Neither do I.
okay? So
First name will do.
nope. I use my initials. That's what I've
You've already
always
said
done.
your name.
So
You're just a snobby artist.
I am.
What is that?
That's how I sign everything. at work.
Oh, you're
So,
you're
I'm
a
giving
man.
A trade secret.
You have one of those jobs that you just have to initial a bunch of stuff. People like your secretary comes in and is like, "All right, Craig, it's time for the signatures for the day." And you're like, "All right." You crack your knuckles and you get out a pen and you're like, "How many we got today?" And it's like 1,700. And you're like, "All right, I don't have time to write my full name." Do you put your age on all the things you sign though?
I don't.
Oh well,
So,
today, since you're doing art, if you wouldn't mind,
so
underneath your name,
I need to write like C.
age.
I have to write the word age.
Age. Yes, you have to write the full word age so people know.
There's only 3 letters.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, because your regular name's so long. Woo!
Look
No
at
wonder
that.
you knew Michelangelo.
That's right. And 55, obviously,
Yeah, that's.
when Disneyland opened.
Oh, yes. And when Winnie the Pooh? No, wait. That was a different year.
It was.
66, maybe? You know what? It's okay.
So,
We're proud of your drawing.
so
being the
obviously,
baby.
I need to go to Disneyland this year because I'm 55.
Yeah,
and
this
it
is a-
opened in 55.
This is a sign.
So,
You look for signs to have to go to Disneyland because you just
So-
want to.
you could make that sign out of some of the woods in the woods.
I think you have to, actually, because
So,
a sign isn't a sign unless it's made of wood from woods.
where else would you get wood
Yeah,
if it wasn't from the woods?
Yeah, you can't get wood from a forest.
No, it would be
Maniacs trying to do that.
Called, that would be called a 4.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, that's That's how words work. Well, I'm so happy you could be on here today. 2 men and a baby and no Benj, but it's okay because you did an amazing job. You did such an amazing job. We'll have to invite you back someday again when you're 56 or something. You know, maybe on actual Father's Day.
You know, if you invite me back when I'm 57, we
Oh.
can do a whole thing on Heinz ketchup.
Oh gosh, we'll do it. We'll do it. I don't know how many people are like setting their calendars 2 years in advance, but put it on the calendar for 2 years from now. Heinz Day with my dad.
There you go.
But thanks for being here, and I'm literally having to avert the baby's eyes from your drawing so she doesn't cry anymore. And we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Bye.
This is the part where, Benj normally clicks the outro button, and I'm like, oh, there it is. As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.